I took it for 4 days, 4 days. And on the fourth day, I was out on a date with my girlfriend, and all of a sudden, I was looking at her, and I felt nothing, no emotions.
Eric, how'd this come about, your life being trashed by this?
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, I was really into self-development, and I was extremely hardworking, worked 7 days a week, had a great relationship with my girlfriend, and I just thought, look, I want to optimize. Like I was
Yeah,
going to the
cosmetic
gym.
biohacking, right?
Yeah,
Big
exactly,
category
exactly,
on YouTube.
exactly. So I went to a dermatologist, and they're the experts on this, right? So I explored my options, and he recommended finasteride. So I asked him, "Is this safe?" He said, "Yeah, totally safe. No risk. Go for it. Give it a try. If you notice anything weird, just stop it. Everything will go back to normal." So I thought, all right, I'll just give it a try. I took it for 4 days, 4 days. And on the fourth day, I was out on a date with my girlfriend, and all of a sudden, I was looking at her, and I felt nothing, no emotions, and I felt very dizzy and weird. So I was like, "This is bad news." I threw it in the garbage, didn't think anything of it. 4 weeks later, I'm at a cafe with
So
my friend.
you felt normal for about 3 weeks after you threw it in the trash.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I threw it in the garbage. Everything went back to normal, no problems. Put it out of my head. This is the other thing I want to highlight for the audience. How is this a nocebo thing? I threw it in the garbage and I wasn't thinking about it at all. 4 weeks later, I'm at a cafe doing some work with my friend, and I can't understand anything he's saying to me. Nothing. So I panic. I'm like, I got to get out of here. Get in an Uber. I was living alone at the time, but I went straight to my parents' place, and I was like, something really bad is happening to me. I started getting brain zapping. It felt like my veins were blocked in the back of my head. It felt like I was being electrocuted, like my brain had been put in a microwave. I felt the deepest, darkest depression of my life. I remember sitting, it was wintertime. I was in a bathtub taking a hot bath. I couldn't feel my nerves. I couldn't feel any ounce of pleasure at all. Libido was stripped, painful zapping in my brain. My genitals changed basically overnight. My memory was horrible. I couldn't understand what people were saying to me. My focus was completely messed up. I would ride a bus, and instead of processing the environment holistically, every little new like sound would pull my focus. So like the radio and then someone talking next to me. I couldn't focus on anything at all. Short-term memory was completely fried. I used to have a pretty good IQ. I was learning Korean at the time. My tutor would compliment me on how quickly I could assimilate vocabulary. That was completely shot. I couldn't remember anything I was learning. I went to the gym 1 month after I crashed. So this was about 2 months after I stopped the drug. And my bench press halved overnight. Basically, my bench press was completely gone. So it was at that point, I thought, what else could it be? I wasn't on anything other than finasteride. No other drugs, no other supplements, but finasteride.
Yeah, you're not a crazy biohacker like me. You just took
Yeah,
finasteride.
basically, yeah. So then I saw a grand total of 10 different doctors. I saw neurologists, endocrinologists. I had every brain scan done, every single type of blood test done. Everything was normal. And I remember I saw one urologist, and this memory is always going to stick with me. He basically just said I was insane. He said that I had a chemical imbalance in my brain. And I said,
Tell them to
why?
define that. When they say that,
Right.
tell that like what's the actual imbalance like finitely via statistics.
Exactly. And I printed out all the studies about vascular abnormalities in PFS patients, the 3,000 genes that are over and underexpressed as per the Baylor study. He didn't want to look at it. He didn't want to examine my genitals. He just said, it's impossible. I said, why is it impossible? He said,
Fucking
oh, because
insane.
there would have been too many lawsuits. I said, there have been lawsuits. There have also been lawsuits for Vioxx. There have been plenty of drugs that have been recalled in the history of the pharmaceutical industry. And he was just like, no. So that was one amazing experience I had with a doctor. And then another one that sticks in my memory
Like,
is,
if
yeah,
he sees you like going to like, you obviously came prepared, like as if you did your fucking like schoolwork for the poor dude, and he says you're crazy. That's a problem. is that this system is not taking this seriously. And obviously, Finasteride's a big cash cow, and that there's also, you know, you got sucked into the cosmetic, you know, biohacking cult that Finasteride saved a lot of people's hairlines and they don't have side effects. So now you have all of us destroyed, but then you have this group cult hoarding this drug trying to stop any bad publicity, to where I feel like it trickles down into the medical system. Because Akash had a guy who was like, oh man, Finasteride's the best thing. You should get on it as soon as possible so none of your hair falls out. Boom, fell in the trap. And now, Eric, you went to a doctor with like a stack of paperwork in your own research. And like, how he just reads it and he's like, no. Like, that's pretty comical.
He refused to even look at it. He was like, no, I don't want to see this.